Hey guys, and welcome to Guitar Education. So today's video we're going to go over a scale and how you can use that scale anywhere on the guitar without really knowing any other spot but the one position. So here's what we're going to do. So first, this is the A minor scale. So it's just these 8 notes, and then we can play it backwards. Okay, so go ahead. If you don't know the scale, go ahead. You can practice that. Go back and forth, up and down. Alright, so you want to get really comfortable with that and get pretty assimilated with using this just as it is. Because what we're going to do after that is we're going to go into how we can expand on this scale. So as we all know, we have 8 notes in our scale already. So our first note is A, and our last note is also A. So we know that this is our root note, this is our A note, and this is also our A note. So if we look at that, we see that this is also a new starting point for our scale. So we can actually slide up and continue the exact same pattern starting from this point. So 5 to 7 was 2 frets, so we would go 7, 9, and then one more, 10. Now we can repeat that pattern on this string as well. Okay, and now for the last 2, we could go up to the B string. Now the B string is not the same distance away that the other strings are tuned from. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to adjust ourselves and go 1 fret higher than we normally would. So because this starts on 5 on every single one, 7, 7, we're going to start on 8 here because this is only tuned 4 frets higher as the others are tuned 5 frets higher from each other. So that means we're going to go 7, 7, 8, and then 2 more, so 10. So there we go. So that's our new, and that actually is A again. So now we have 2 spots that we can play this in already. So we have our first one, and now we have our new one. Now if you really want to get crazy with it, we can bring that 10. We'll start over here. We're going to take that 10th fret. So I'm going to bring it back over here because I ran out of room. But we're going to take that 10, and then we're going to go, okay, 2 more. So 12, then 1 more, 13, and we know that the exact same pattern's on the next fret. So we can actually even bring it all the way up to here. And then, of course, now we get into the point, well, we ran out of strings. What do we do? So now we have this here, but now we're saying, hey, we're missing a string for the last 2 notes. Well, that's okay, because all we really need to do is just move up a couple more frets to play the last 2 notes. So I'll show you where those are here. So it's going to be 15 and then 17, and that's going to be our A again over there. So that's our last A here. Now, the easy way to explain this is when we're looking at our pattern here, 8 to 5, and our original pattern, 8 to 5. So if we tried to find that 5th note that's here, but on this string, we would just go. So we know that this is only 2 frets higher than this previous note. So we could actually stick on this and go to the 10th fret here if we wanted to, and then the 12th fret, because that's 2. So we could do it that way, and it would work exactly the same. So now we can expand on it from that point, because all we're doing is looking for where this note would be on this string. And then that'll correlate to all the other ones as well. So we have 10, so it's the same note, and then 12, the same note there. And that would mean that whatever we're doing here, we can also incorporate here. So this could also be 10, this would be 12. And since that's only 1 fret higher, this would be 13. So now we've taken this scale and we've brought it, we've got a good part of the neck covered already, and we haven't even done the whole thing yet. But always look at it like this. You want to take this note and find where it would be on the previous string. So when we start running out of room here, you could say, well, we only have to go 2 frets higher. So that's how we get to that. Now on this one, it changes a little bit. So we're always gonna do the same idea, but then we have to add one more note, one more fret in order to get there. So we have 5, 5, and 5 as our starting note on each string for our original pattern. Then we have 7, 7, and you have to say 7, but add 1, so 8. Because B, we always have to add one more. So now we have this scale, and we have it in a large part of the area, so we can So now we had originally just this part, and then we expanded it, so we can go, or we can do any kind of combination with these that we can do. So we have our and even from here we could say, okay, and we can bring it out even further. So we say, okay, now we can move this on and move that on. So go ahead, play around with that. This should help you really get up there to expanding the scale and being able to use it. Now, the same goes with any other scale. If we start a scale on any string, we always want to look for the octave of it to where it would be. And then we know that we have the exact same pattern on that, starting on that fret and string. So even if we started it here, let's say we're playing the D minor scale, we would start there, and then we would know that our octave would be the 7th fret on this string. So then we would just move it up, and of course you have to adjust for the B string. But other than that, that's pretty much how that would go. So this is the A minor scale. We got some places, and go ahead and find some other places of your own where this scale and this shape might actually be. All right, so have some fun with that and play along with some backing tracks. That will also help. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and hit the notifications. And don't forget to share this with your friends. And thanks for watching.